Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, teachers in Alachua County will soon see a bump in their pay. We're digging into how these new salaries stack up against other areas.
After freezing temperatures over the weekend, we are in for a rapid warm-up. First weather is coming up in 4 minutes. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5 from the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications. You're watching WUFT News.
Back in December, school officials and the teachers' unions reached a pay agreement for raises.
Now it's coming to fruition.
Welcome to WUFT News' First at 5. I'm Serra, Sowers.
And I'm Kennedy Mason. WUFT's Jake Lynch has been mulling through the agreement all day.
He joins us live from the school district and how teachers can expect to see their pays increase.
That salary increase doesn't just go to teachers, it goes to all ACPS employees. We're talking bus drivers and the like. Today, I got to do a deep dive on how our teachers' salaries compare not only to the other counties in Florida, but we're also talking on a national scale.
A special meeting conducted last Friday by the Alachua County School Board afforded educators a raise. Currently, Florida lags behind the rest of the nation in teacher pay. In order to attract and retain educators, the district's teachers union demanded more competitive salaries.
We need to make children in the state of Florida a priority. And you can't want children to be successful if you don't want the educators that educate those students to be successful.
10 years ago, Alachua County ranked in the 40s out of 67 counties in terms of teacher pay. Now it ranks 24th according to the district. The state as a whole is ranked 48th out of 50 in the nation. According to the National Education Association, the average teacher salary last year in the United States was $68,469. The average in the state of Florida was $51,000.
Some of the things that we try to do here in Alachua County besides pay to attract more employees is, for example, we offer health insurance to employees free of charge.
Alachua County has one of the highest rates of teachers with master's degrees and PhDs in the state. The teacher union wants to ensure they are paid accordingly.
That 3.5% increase doesn't just apply to future teachers and future contracts. This means that current teachers right now are going to get paid a check for 3.5% of all the money they've made since last July. Reporting live here in Gainesville, Jake Lynch, WUFT News.
Governor Ron DeSantis' presidential bid has come to an end. He suspended his campaign Sunday evening after a disappointing second-place finish in the Iowa caucuses last week. In a video released on X, formerly known as Twitter, DeSantis said he had no choice but to suspend his campaign.
But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign.
DeSantis also alluded to his new support for former President Donald Trump in the primary race.
I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear.
Trump won the Iowa caucus with 51% of the vote. DeSantis followed with 21%, and Republican candidate Nikki Haley trailed with 19%. Haley spoke out to her supporters Sunday, recognizing the Florida governor's withdrawal from the race.
We just heard that Ron DeSantis has dropped out of the race. And I want to say to Ron, he ran a great race, he's been a good governor, and we wish him well. Having said that, it's now one fella and one lady left.
Tomorrow in New Hampshire, Haley is the only candidate to face Trump for the Republican presidential nomination.
After last week's unseasonably cold temperatures, we're in store for a rapid warm-up this week. UF forecaster Matthew Clark is timing out the warm-up. Matthew, we're expecting to see temperatures in the 80s this week.
Yeah, and after these cold temperatures this past week, it is kind of nice for a relief. Current temperatures right now is 66 Gainesville, 66 in Jacksonville, and those are just shy of the highs we experienced today. Now, the big story is the 24-hour temperature change that we've experienced. Last night at this time, we were all in our winter coats and it was super cold. Right now, 18-degree difference in Gainesville and 23 in Jacksonville. But for the most part, it's 20 degrees warmer, and sometimes in some places it's in the teens. And it is going to be a nice relief for us as we head into the later parts of this week. Coming up, we will be seeing those temperatures into the 80s and a couple spotty showers for your Tuesday morning.
Thanks, Matthew. A Marion County high school student is facing a number of charges after deputies say he threatened schools and staff. The threats surfaced on social media Friday, calling out schools and more specifically teachers. Deputies say Shamari Clark was behind the threatening Snapchat post that caused a heightened law enforcement presence at several schools. Detectives say Clark told them the social media threat investigation the day prior had inspired him to post Friday's threat. He's facing a number of charges, including 11 counts of electronic threats to kill and 8 counts of sending a written threat to conduct a mass shooting. He's being held at Marion County Jail without bond.
A traffic stop in Dixie County led to a narcotics arrest. Officials say a deputy stopped a vehicle for a traffic violation. A canine officer assisted the deputy with the stop and alerted him about possible narcotics in the car. Officials identified the driver of the vehicle as Chief Land Resident Garrett Miller. Miller charged with possession of a controlled substance. And if you're seeing into gator sightings, this might be the perfect weather for you to spot one. WUFT's Alex Land visited 2 North Central Florida's nature preserves. He joins us now to tell us why the area has been swamped with gators recently.
Well, the simple answer is it's just too cold. But it gives nature lovers a great opportunity to become more acquainted with one of Florida's staple reptiles.
As temperatures crawl down, the gators crawl out. Visitors travel near and far to observe the wildlife of North Central Florida. One of Jewel Purvis's favorite places is Sweetwater Wetlands Park.
My wife and I come down here every winter for 6 weeks from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Jewel and his wife have had some jaw-dropping gator sightings.
A couple of years ago, we saw a giant alligator that had one of these invasive Burmese pythons in its mouth. That was fun.
While this cold weather has been hard on us humans, it's also been hard on the gators. A gator's ideal body temperature is 89 degrees Fahrenheit, so spending these nights in this cold water makes it tough for them, so they spend their days out in the sun.
The gators Alachua County-based photographer Michael Johnson captured have been intimidating to him, but not enough to keep him away.
We live in Gainesville, and a bunch of my friends have told me to come out here and check it out. We're gonna potentially bring the kids out here, but I was kind of worried about the gator situation. So I wanted to see, what was actually out here and make sure it was safe to bring the kids.
To stay safe, park officials recommend taking in the sights from 20 feet away. As days begin to warm up, the gators will once again take haven in the water and will become more difficult to see.
Just for the people here in Florida, if you don't take advantage of these nature scenes and get out and explore some, you're really missing a good opportunity.
An opportunity Jewel and his wife travel 6 hours yearly to see.
According to the World Population Review, Florida has over 1.3 million alligators. So if you'd like, take the time to take in the views while you can. Alex Land, WUFT News.
Thank you, Alex. Firefighters in Marion County are investigating what caused a garage to catch fire this morning. Units were called out to a home on Southwest 108th Loop Sunday morning. That's near Highway 200. Crews were able to put out the flames in less than 30 minutes. Only the garage was badly damaged. No one was hurt. The Marion County Sheriff's Office is warning residents of a potential scam.
Someone is calling and asking residents for personal information by posing as deputies. If you are unsure if a caller is a real deputy, contact the Sheriff's Office at 352-372-8181. And coming up on WUFT News' First at 5, we'll have the latest on gas prices.
And we'll tell you more about the 3 finalists in the running for Alachua County's Teacher of the Year. That and more when we First at 5 returns.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Attention drivers, we start the year with a record low. Gas prices are dropping all across the Sunshine State. Today's average is at $2.99, according to AAA. The number reflects a drop from its consistent price average above $3 a gallon. The national average remains at $3 as of today. One of the county's 3 finalists will be named Teacher of the Year in Alachua County later this week.
Dwynette Smith is a music teacher at Metcalf Elementary. Serra Rendeck is a reading teacher at High Springs Community School, and Jennifer Knowles teaches science at the Professional Academies Magnet at Lofton High School. The 3 finalists and more than 3 dozen other nominees from Alachua County Public Schools will be honored at the upcoming Robert W. Hughes Teacher of the Year ceremony Thursday. The winner will go on to represent the district in the state recognition program. Mayor Harvey Ward will address Gainesville neighbors in the State of the City address next month. You can expect to hear about the city's progress towards its goals and visions. The address will take place Tuesday, February 13th at 10 a.m. at Santa Fe's College Blount Center. It will also be live streamed on the city's Facebook page.
Parents in Marion County still have time to apply for the county's school choice program. School leaders are using this month to showcase magnet schools across the county. School choice allows students to attend either a magnet school or career academy. Tonight's showcase starts at 6 and is at North Marion High School. School applications close on January 31st, and applications can be submitted at marioncountyschools.net.
Yeah, and the big thing is we're warming up as we enter this week. Spotty showers are possible for our Tuesday morning, and we are experiencing some highs in the 80s as we head throughout the week.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
I'm forecaster Matthew Clark, and current temperatures across the greater northern part of Florida are in our 60s. We are starting to get into the low 60s as we enter the evening hours. Now, these temperatures were just shy of our highs today. Now, the big story is the amount of heat that we've been experiencing and we are going to experience, and that's because of this high pressure system off the coast of the Carolinas. Now, it is bringing clockwise winds around the high pressure system, which is bringing in moisture and humidity from the Atlantic coast, and that is going to warm us up as we head throughout the week. We can see this throughout our temperature changes as we head into the week. Tuesday morning, we are mild still in the 50s. However, we can see this blue that we were impacted by earlier this week start to creep away as we head into our Wednesday evening and Wednesday afternoon hours. Now we can see some oranges, and that's because of all that moisture that's being influxed from the Atlantic coast. Now, taking a look at our campus cam, it is overcast, relatively cloudy. Temperature right now 65, feels like 65. East winds from about 8 miles per hour. As we look into our night and hour by hour cam, we are in the 50s as we head into our evening hours, which is a great break from where we were last week. Around Sunday, we were in the 20s, and we even had an 18-degree spot just north of Gainesville. So in the 50s, you're not going to be needing heavy winter bundled jackets. Now, if we look at our Tuesday morning, we can see temperatures relatively mild, but it is the humidity that we are experiencing that's going to keep us warm. Now, mild start in the morning hours, and a couple sprinkles are possible Tuesday morning. And we are much warmer as we head throughout the week. However, we won't get those temperatures until later on. Now, we can see that high pressure system across the state, and we do have some excess moisture here in the Gulf of Mexico, and we can see a couple residual showers in north part of Florida, Jacksonville, Gainesville area, experiencing some showers as we head into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. Now, those showers will start to clear up as we head into the evening hours. Couple cloud cover and some fog as we wake up on Wednesday morning. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, we have 80s on the schedule, which is some spring weather, and it's a bit of a change. However, we are going to start to dip into the 60s and 40s again as we head into the later parts of the week. But the big thing is we have some warm temperatures this week, and some residual showers are possible.
Coming up in sports, Gators women's basketball is facing a familiar foe on their home turf. I'm bringing you this and more when I get back.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Good afternoon, I'm Alexis Vivanco with your sports for the day. Gators women's basketball takes to the hardwood tonight for an SEC showdown. Gators women's basketball is well rested and ready to get back to some SEC conference play, with the Mississippi State Bulldogs on call tonight. The team hasn't laced up since their last outing on January 14th and are eager to get their 5th conference game underway. The Gators will need to put their best foot forward tonight, putting some weight on Leilani Correa and Aliyah Matharu to create shots early and often against the Bulldogs team eager to get back in the win column. It all goes down at O'Connell Center at 7 p.m. It was Sunday fun day for the Gators men's tennis team as they protected the home front against SMU before a long road trip. Starting the match off strong, sophomore Tanapat Nurendorn set the pace for the Gators, jumping out to a 6-0 lead in a singles match. Gators freshman Aditya Ganesen squashed a comeback, holding his own 6-3 in straight sets. Nate Benito clinched a win in the third set tiebreaker against SMU's Jerry Barden. The match was neck and neck, but Benito managed to squeak out a win. The Gators decided to keep the good times rolling with a strong double showing too. Jeremy Jin and Aiden Kim's match went down to the wire, barely losing 5-4. But luckily, the rest of the crew were able to pick up the pieces, taking care of business in all of the doubles matches. Looking ahead, the Gators are taking their talents to Chapel Hill to take on Wake Forest Demon Deacons in tournament action. The NCAA is continuing its investigation into UF football after reports of a possible violation with a former high-profile recruit. The reports stem from an apparent botched NIL deal with former four-star quarterback Jaden Rashada, who flipped his commitment from the University of Miami to the University of Florida. Rashada was allegedly promised $13 million in NIL money from the Gator Collective. While there have yet to be any sanctions announced, the Gator Collective has been disbanded and been replaced by a new organization, Florida Victorious. It's a busy night for high school basketball in the area, with a number of men's and women's teams taking the court tonight. Some games on the men's side to catch are an 18-2 Williston team that seemingly cannot be stopped at Chiefland and Union County against Palatka. For the women, a dominating 10-3 Hawthorne team is taking on Orange Park.
Well, it's too bad that the Bucks did lose yesterday night. You know, I am still mourning the loss.
As a Bucks fan myself, I was disappointed, but I'm proud of Baker for pushing us towards that point where he could put us in a spot to win.
Yeah, see, I'm not really that big into football, so I'll be waiting on you, Alexis, to tell me what happens next week. And before we go, let's take one last check on the weather.
Yeah, we have 80s this week, and for the most part, it gives us a nice forecast and a preview to spring. 81 throughout the end of the week, and 82 as a high on Saturday. A couple scattered showers are possible on Tuesday morning, but for the most part, we can start to see that cold air start to come back as we head into early next week.
Looking like good weather for maybe a picnic or some time outside. I don't know.
Absolutely. I'm excited for the temperatures to warm up being a Floridian. Thank you, Matthew. BBC World News is next, and the PBS News Hour is coming up at 7.
Your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.